Hi, how you doing? Justin here. Welcome to BC-104, which is the anatomy of the guitar. I've got here an electric guitar. Most guitars have kind of similar kind of features, so I'm going to use this one for now. If I think of something that requires an acoustic guitar, I'll grab one of those out. But so, the basic chunks of the guitar, if you like, we've got here the headstock, sometimes just referred to as the head. We've got here the long bit is called the neck, and this bit here is called the body. So you kind of got your body, neck and head. Pretty straightforward. So what about the other things? So the little things on the ends here that help keep you in tune are, funnily enough, called tuners or a tuning peg. So they're your tuners, tuning peg. Sometimes, and this guitar doesn't have one, but you'll find in here there's a little thing that holds your strings down, usually the two thinner strings. It kind of holds them onto the neck. If you do see one of those, that's referred to as a string tree. But I can't have a little photo. I'll try and find a photo of one for the website so you can see one on the page. Okay, the bit of either bone or metal or plastic that you have right at the end of the guitar, kind of where the fingerboard starts. The fingerboard's the place that you put your fingers, funnily enough. That's called the nut. So that's really important that you remember that one. This is the either end of the strings where you put your fingers and stuff is the nut at this end on the headstock, and the other end of it is the bridge, which is where the strings kind of disappear into the body of the guitar. So remember that. It's really important, just because we use that quite often when we're teaching stuff. You know, move your hand toward the bridge or whatever, or toward the nut. So nut, bridge. Very important to remember those two. So the little bits of metal that we've got going over the fingerboard are called the frets. That's pretty straightforward. The shape of this piece, as I said, is just called the neck. You have marker dots, very likely to be either on the top of the guitar or on the front in the 3rd, 5th, 7, 9 and 12. You'll always have a double dot or some sort of different design in some other guitars that represents the 12th fret, because that's exactly 1 octave higher than the open string. Don't worry about that too much. Yeah, that sort of thing will come a little later. Okay, so once we're down onto the actual body of the guitar now, an acoustic guitar will just have the hole in the middle, which is called a sound hole, funny enough, where the sound comes out of. They still have a bridge. It looks a little different to an electric guitar bridge, but they still have a bridge. On the electric guitar, you'll notice these little things underneath the strings there. These are called pickups, and they pick up the sound. These are little magnets, and as the string wobbles around it interrupts the magnetic field around the pickup, and the pickup picks up the changes in the magnetic field and sends it off down out the guitar to the amplifier to amplify that signal. If you get two pickups that look like they're next to each other, they're probably called humbucking pickups, because single coil pickups can sometimes be a bit noisy. When you stick two together, it stops them humming, so you get this humbucker, and they're commonly found in kind of Gibson guitars, in Les Pauls and that type of thing. You sometimes might have the little a little stick on here. This is called the Whammy Bar, which is if you play strings and move it like toward the body of the guitar or pull it away, will change the pitch of the strings. If you're a beginner guitar player, you probably don't want to be mucking around with that. It'll just make your guitar go out of tune. So I'd leave that out of the way if I was you. You'll probably have a couple of knobs if you've got an electric guitar. Well, hey, one of them will be volume, the other ones will be tone. Most likely for a beginner, you just want to make sure that they're all up all of the time. The volume control you could back off, but generally the tone controls, when you're starting out, it's a good idea just to leave them on full all the time until you understand what you might be doing with them. You might also find that you've got a switch on here. This is a 5-way selector switch on a Stratocaster. On a Les Paul, you have like a 3-way selector that's usually up on this part of the guitar neck. This selects which pickup you're going to use, because you notice there's 3 there. The reason there's 3 there is because they all sound a little bit different. So depending on whether you want to use the back one, which is kind of the brightest, most trebly sort of sound, or the one nearest the neck, or surprisingly called the neck pickup, this one's kind of got the bassiest and fattest sound. So that would be the pickups, and that would be the pickup selector The reason you've got 5 is because you can either choose one pickup or 2 pickups together, or just the middle pickup, or the front 2 pickups, or just the front one. That's your 5. The middle position in a Les Paul type guitar will select both pickups, the front and the back, because that type of guitar only has 2 pickups. Just trying to think what else you might have. You've got a little strap locks. I've got strap locks on mine. I don't know what you call them when they're just strap buttons. Actually, I don't know. How many years have I been playing guitar and I don't know what those little things are called. Okay, I think that's about it.